Gather round, it's time to hear the voices of our town so clear. From the heart of the Murray, we're talking today, sharing stories in every way. It's a river chat, come join the talk. With friends and neighbors, we'll take a walk. In Echuca, we laugh and we share. River chat, we're always there.
Hello from Echuca and welcome to a new series of programs showcasing many topics in and around our towns. First up, we head to Tongala to talk to Rob Dingey about his hobby of building model paddle steamers. Hi Rob, welcome to River Chat.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here to talk about your model paddle steamers and that. So what inspired your interest and fascination with paddle steamers? Because how long was it before you actually made your first model?
So what originally inspired me was back when I was about 12 years old in grade 6. I did a project on it for my teacher, and I learned a hell of a lot about it back then and just got fascinated by this particular craft. So when I was about 17, 18 years old, I seen a model built by Kevin Hutchinson in Echuca, and he did a brilliant job, and I thought, I can have a go at this. So I did. I built a very crude model of the Pevensey. It was built out of MDF, not ideal for water. However, it worked. And it worked for about 6 months. And then after I built that one and it stopped working, I built a new one, which was slightly larger scale, which I still have that model actually, the Yolonga, and she's still a working model to this day.
So it was just a bit of beginner's luck that it was not slightly the right material for the job.
Yeah, that's right. And the second one ended up being MDF as well, but over time I changed that out to plywood, and yeah, she's still going strong today.
So how many paddle steamers are in your collection, and are they all powered, or are any static or just intended for exhibition?
No, I always try to build my models as a working model. So I've got about 20 of them at the moment with a goal of making 50. The only one that's a static model is a little kit that I purchased online. The reason it's static is because it's only about 45 centimetres long. I was going to radio control it, but I didn't bother with it. So all the big ones that I built from scratch are all powered.
So presumably you're using varying scales, perhaps with larger scales to allow for the greater detail in some of the models? Or?
No, they're all in scale with each other. So it gives you a true indication of what size difference between each boat. So you look at the Gem, which is quite a large boat, and you put it next to something like the Pevensey, which up close looks really large, but the Gem dwarfs it.
So you make them to the same scale,
yes,
so that when you got your fleet together, they're all the same?
Yep, they all look right.
They all look correct in scale, yeah. So have you received any awards over the years? Or?
Yeah, when I've taken them out to shows like the Echuca Steam Rally and similar to that, I've got awards, best model boat sort of stuff. I took the Australine up to Canberra a couple of years ago, and I got Members' Choice first on that one as well. So
do you display your models only in your home area of Echuca, or do you take them out to other places? Or?
No, I do take them around. So as I said, I've been as far as Canberra with them, but mainly Bendigo, this local area, Swan Hill, I've been to quite a bit. So yeah, we'll go pretty much wherever people want me to go with them.
And I think you've been up to Mildura a couple of times too.
I've taken the odd one or two up there. I've never done a full-on display up there, but I've definitely taken the odd one or two up there.
Okay. So how many people do you estimate you've helped to create their own paddle steamer models?
It's hard to say, quite a lot, because I get a lot of messaging through my Facebook page, which basically they'll ask either where I get plans from, how do I do this, how do I do that. So I'll answer whatever question they ask.
Do you receive much feedback from people who've seen your models in operation? They must get a bit in awe of them sometimes.
Yes, most people will just sit there and just go, oh wow, that's incredible. That's mostly what I get. And then when they walk into my displays, it's like, wow.
And we've got some footage of some of the boats running actually next to the actually real paddle steamer that they're based on.
Yep.
What sort of reaction do you get when that happens, when you actually have the model next to the actual boat?
Yeah, everybody loves it. When I first built the Melbourne back in 2019, we actually made an event with Mildura paddle steamers where I took it up, we put it in next to the real Melbourne, gave it a run. Lots of people turned up for that.
Yeah. So do you get support from the government tourist agencies or the Committee for Echuca or anything like that?
No, it's all self-funded. I do normally have a donation box when I display, And the same with people coming into my display. They pop a donation if they so wish to, but apart from that, I fund it all myself.
So we were intrigued to see a picture of the paddle steamer Emily Jane emitting smoke. So how's that happen?
So I can go online and buy a smoke generator coming from Perth. They're a very good unit. They run like a boil fluid, and it emits a good amount of smoke. So she's got one, the Pevensy's also got one. The Marion will also have one once I complete her as well.
Yeah, because it just looked amazing in the photo to see the...
It helps with those realistic photos, and especially when I get my camera down really low.
So do you have any plans for future models at the moment? And if so, what models are you still planning on doing?
I've got lots of models on the go that I want to build. Hero, Industry, Oscar W, Evoker, which is behind us here. Yeah, lots and lots of boats.
So there's still a few that are left to be done?
Yes.
And one question that's just come to me is, do you often have the same boat but in different eras? Do you often do that, or is it just do you choose an era for one boat?
I normally do stick to an era, but sometimes I'll do one of each, depending on how many eras it goes through. Example, my Adelaide, I've got one in the workshop at the moment, which is how she pretty much is currently, and one in my display room, which is back in the 40s.
So given the exquisite detail in your models, how long on average does it take to complete a model? Because it must be something you've got to be patient with.
Yeah, definitely patience with it. On average, on the bench, sort of 6 to 9 months, which could be anywhere up to sort of 700-800 hours. Although that time is coming down with 3D printing technology, that does a lot of the bulk of the work. So the model itself isn't too bad, it's the detailing that takes that time.
So you've discovered 3D printing. How long have you been using that now, and how are you going learning the new technology to make some of the details?
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 6 years now. Learning the technology was quite interesting and technical, and it was always evolving. But yeah, pretty good at it now, and I design a lot of my own components now as well.
And we were impressed to see the Melbourne lit up at night. How many of the models actually have lighting, and how long does it take you to get all that wiring all through it? And
so there's quite a few of the models in there with lighting in it. So the Gem's an example of one that's fully lit up as well. I generally build that wiring into it when I'm going, so it's not too long.
so you just got to be a bit like an electrician and wire it up as you go along.
So you have sort of a plan on where you're going to put things from photos and whatnot, and then you just put the cables in where they need to be, and then you'll wire it up at the end.
It's a river chat, come join the talk. With friends and neighbors, we'll take a walk. In Echukamawama, we laugh and we share. River chat, we're always there.
Hey guys, what'd you like?
Coffee, thanks.
2 coffees, please. What kind of coffee would he like?
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino. What can I get for you?
I'll have a coffee, thanks.
Yeah, 2 coffees, please. Awesome. And what kind of coffee would you like?
Cappuccino, thanks.
2 cappuccinos.
Autism. Change your reactions, change your actions.
Flexible, shut the gates, teach your kids to swim, it's great, supervise, watch your mates, and learn how to resuscitate,
Kids alive, do that.
Bye! Love you, Papa.
River chat, come join the talk. With friends and neighbors, we'll take a walk. In Echukamawama, we laugh and we share. River chat, we're always there.
So that's the main one that's lit up.
So yeah, the Melbourne's the best one for lighting because you can see into it so much. But the one near is fully lit up as well. And the interesting thing with that particular model is that I've got a photographic history inside of her that when the lights are on, you can see it.
Oh, okay. So that's a interesting thing you've hidden in there for people.
So a little bit of an Easter egg for people if they want to have a real good look at it. It goes from when she was first built all the way up to when she burnt down, and she is now as a barge.
So Rob, what are the plans for the immediate future and maybe just down the track a bit?
Well, at the moment I'm just going to keep producing models. As I said, I've got a goal of 50. But down the track, what I'd love to do is actually have somewhere on a permanent basis to display these, where people can come in at any stage and have a look.
with so many empty shops and that around, sometimes hopefully that might be a goal that you might be able to achieve one day.
Yeah, definitely. It's sort of be best fitting down near the port. That's where I get the best feedback from, and of course you should. But it's awesome down there, and if I can get something down there, that would be great.
And one of your models, I think, is at the port, isn't it? On a semi-permanent basis?
Yes,
or?
I've got 3 models there. I've got the Alexander Arbuthnot. I've got my very first Pevensey I built, or not the first MDF one, but the very first in a larger scale. That's on display there, and the Adelaide, which is currently in my workshop getting a makeover.
So eventually you'll be able to see the 3 of them there again.
Yes, so the Pevensey and the Alex are there at the moment. There's also a model of the Success there, which I don't own. They own it now, but I built it.
So Rob, what are some of the logistics of moving the models? Because you've got the pretty shaky roads and that around the country areas a bit. So what are some of the logistics of moving them safely?
So basically I've got a specially designed trailer that I've got. So it's got a couple of shelves and I can pack all the boats in, put a lot of packing between the boats so they don't rub together. And basically, if it's going to be a bit of a shocking road, you just take your time on it, but my trailer does ride really well.
So what about some of the, have you done any models of the barges that used to be towed behind the paddle steamers? Or?
Yes, I've got 2 barges. I've got the outrigger barge D26, and I can actually tow that behind my Adelaide model, and it looks quite good. And I've also got a model of Vega barge, which is an insider barge, basically carry wool, grain, whatever it was asked to carry inside. I'm yet to tow that behind one of the boats, but it's ready to go.
When are the days of the paddle steamers towing the logs on the barges sort of peter out? What was their heyday in a way?
The sort of anywhere from when they start up in the 1850s to the 1900s was their heyday. Then rail transport started getting more and more viable, so therefore the paddle steamers really died out, and sort of the 20s to the 30s was towards the end of that.
So Rob, are there any old timers that used to work in the freight days on the paddle steamers still around, or are they all pretty much died out? Or?
No, they're pretty much all died out. You've got a lot of people that are obviously sons and daughters of those people that still know a lot about that, but they're pretty much all gone now.
So Rob, was there any reference material that you find these days on the days of the paddle steamer? Or?
Yes, there's quite a number of books that I've got. Probably I've got about 100 books at the moment, and I'll use them from time to time depending on the model I'm building at the time, and I'll just go through it. Then there's Facebook, there's all the interesting ones on the internet you can get, and there's some that you'll find that you've never seen before.
So Rob, you started doing these models pretty young, as you explained earlier in the show. How long now do you think it's been that you've been working with these models?
It's almost 26 years now. Been working with them, and it's been pretty constant, although I've really focused in the last sort of 12 years of being more consistent with them without having long pauses between builds.
Yeah. So Rob, thanks for talking to us today, and we might have a look at some of the models on video if we get a chance in the rest of the show here.
Yep.
So we'll have a brief look at some of the videos.
No worries.
Thanks for your time.
No worries, thank you. Okay. This is my latest model here, the Pevensey. The Pevensey is my favourite paddle steamer. So this one I went all out with it. However, I wanted to make her as she was as a working boat. So as you can see, she's got a winch on the front, her derrick cranes on the front. She's fully working. Smoke even comes out of it. So we'll turn the smoke on. Here we go. So we'll start seeing some smoke. So that's just created by electric smoke generator inside. And she'll sit like that until she runs out of oil. I'll turn it off so we don't fill up the smoke. She's got a highly detailed engine inside of her with a couple of lights to see it, and that's to my best ones yet. I always try to improve, but this was the best yet. So we've got the Emmylou here. This is my 3rd attempt at making an Emmylou. The first 2 weren't very successful. They were a little bit top heavy, but this one works perfectly. She's everybody's favourite, and she always goes out and display with me, because if I don't take her, I get asked, where is she? So before us we have the Yolonga. She's my very first model in this scale. The Pevensey previous to this was a smaller scale, and without her being built, the rest of these models wouldn't exist. She's still my favourite model. Yep, we've got the Gem here. She was originally built in 2003. She is by far the largest model I have. She's just shy of 7 foot long, and she weighs, with her batteries in her, around about 50 kilos. So she's a bit of a difficult one to put on the water, but she does run really nice. So this is my model of the paddle steamer Melbourne. She's by far the most complex build I've ever done. She took 13 months, or around about 1,300 hours to complete, and she was the first boat that introduced me to 3D printing. She's fully operational, she's fully lit up at night, and she runs really nicely. Welcome to my workshop. On the bench we have at the moment is the Adelaide. She's not a new build. She's the boat that normally is on display at the Port of Echuca under the glass case. But she was looking a bit old and it was time to give her an update. So she's had a full pull down and rebuild, and she's still going, another 3 or 4 weeks left in her. But she's got a fully detailed 3D printed engine inside of her, all designed for this particular model. So she's got a brand new red gum deck. We've curved the deck, that was a pain in the butt to do. Going to put the winch on it, although the Adelaide today does not have the winch on it. I'm going to put the winch on it to sort of symbolise her working life. Well, here we have the Adelaide's engine, still under construction at the moment. This is, as I said, a brand new design. It's all been designed on Tinkercad, so that means that anybody can get online with a bit of creativity and do it. But one of the hardest things I have to do when I think about building these engines is how I'm going to hide the electric motor that runs the boat. In this case, I've sacrificed a little bit of boiler length to hide it in behind. So when I lift up this cover down behind, you probably won't see it quite in there because it's all painted black, but the engine is hidden behind the boiler. And it runs the belt that goes to the shaft and therefore spins my paddles.
It's a river chat, come join the talk. With friends and neighbors we'll take a walk. In Echuca, Moama, we laugh and we share. River chat, we're always there.
Finding the right people for your growing business just got a lot easier. growgreatershepparton.com.au is a free online platform that connects local businesses with local job seekers. Access local job seekers that are keen to be a part of your growth. Post information about available jobs and the skills you're looking for. Get the person that's right for you. Register today at growgreatershepparton.com.au. We can't wait to see your business grow.
Here is some brilliant news for adults who have difficulties with spelling, reading a newspaper or phone bill, or writing letters and emails. It can be easier to improve your reading and writing skills than to keep putting it off. Take the plunge. Call the Reading Writing Hotline, 1300 65506.
1300 65506.
It could change your life.
River chat, come join the talk. With friends and neighbors we'll take a walk. In Echuca, Moama, we laugh and we share. River chat, we're always there.
Now Rob will show us how he upgraded his period model of the PS Canberra.
Welcome back to my workshop. Today in front of me I have my model of the PS Canberra. This model was built in 2018 and she's based on the 1913 version of the Canberra. That's when she operated up and down the Murray River as a fishing steamer. When I first started to build this model, I was actually planning on building her the way she is today. That's a passenger vessel that operates out of Echuca running tourists. However, it was suggested to me that I make her as original back in 1913, so I decided to take that challenge on, went and found as many photographs as I could and started to build her. Once she was finished, she looked the part. She was very basic, but she did look the part. She had the fake steam engine inside of her, she had a few characters on her, and I was pretty happy with her. But compared to my models today, she was starting to look a little bit bland, so I decided to detail her up, make her look like the fishing steamer that she should be. So I went about putting lots of other details, nets, a few other extra little pieces, and I put the little punt on the side of her, which is what they use to transport the live fish back to port. I think she's turned out really, really good. So let's take a bit of a closer look at her. We have a look inside. We can just see the fake steam engine inside there, and then we look out. We've just got some extra little details on the outside of her. I decided to put a new name badge on it because the old one was just a printout and it was looking pretty shabby. Put some more details, some wood. She is a wood-fired boiler, so they split some wood occasionally. On top there, I've put some nets, some tarps, a ladder to be able to get up and down off the roof, and down the back just a few extra details. And the fella sitting on the back. The idea behind this was to actually recreate a photograph that was in one of the books with the fella sitting on the back. So she's operated by a 2-channel radio for paddle wheels backwards and forwards, and for the rudder left and right. Alright, so I'll take the top off of her and we'll have a look inside and see how she runs. So there we go, we've got the top off her now. In the front hatch here is where I pop my battery, so I can get that on and off without actually taking the top off. We've got the helm at the front, of course. There we've got the fake steam engine. Now that's just a piece of PVC pipe, some aluminium and some wood just cut to shape. I am planning on actually putting a new 3D printed version in there. There's our motor. That's just a cheap eBay motor. It's actually on its way out. I would not recommend getting one of those, so I'm going to replace that in the near future. There's our radio gear, and you can just see how she's all driven in there with a couple of gears. However, that will change when I put the new motor in. Just all the details I've added. Not a lot. Didn't go over the top, but just enough to make some more interest in the model. So I'm going to show you her running now.
Gather round, it's time to hear the voices of our town so clear. From the heart of the Murray, we're talking today, sharing stories in every way. It's a river chat, come join the talk. With friends and neighbors, we'll take a walk. In Echuca-Moama, we laugh and we share. River chat, we're always there. From the news to the views that matter most, we talk with love, we raise a toast. In our community, there's always a way to connect and learn each and every day. It's a river chat, come join the talk. With friends and neighbors, we'll take a walk. In Echuca-Moama, we laugh and we share. River chat, we're always there. We've got the mix.
A man's home is his castle, but his men's shed, that's his kingdom. There are now more than 1,000 men's sheds across Australia, and they're more than just a shed. You can make things, grow things, find a mate, be a mate, shoulder to shoulder. The Australian Men's Shed Association can help to find a shed near you.
There's something for you at the men's shed.
What did he say?
He says we can see quite well.
Please don't cry.
In 1993, Australia lost a hero. Fred Hollows spent his life bringing sight to those who were blind. Before Fred died, he set up a foundation to carry on his work. The Fred Hollows Foundation has saved the sight of 2.5 million people. You can create a future where no one is needlessly blind.
If the moon had to run away and all the stars didn't.
Leave a gift in your will. Your legacy can last beyond a lifetime.
The wind will soon blow it all away, yeah.
Every eye is an eye.
We'll shine on forever, everyone. Shine on.
Find out how you can leave a gift in your will at hollows.org.
Na 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 na